We're back. It's been a while. Um, so where have I been? Let's get the first part out of the way. So I've been busy, um, very busy. Uh, so I'm now in college. That's how much time has passed. I'm now in college. It's been about 2 years since Sets One's release, right? And I'll be honest, I was almost done with it. I was almost gonna quit, right? Because I was like, I haven't touched it in like 2 years, you know. So I was kind of thinking about ending it, but really, I just want to do it, you know. Because the more I thought about it, the more I was like, you know what? I'm in college now, so other than sometimes studying, I got a lot more free time, right? I ain't got a bunch of things to do. And honestly, I enjoy making the cards. And I enjoy testing the game. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to continue making it. First things first, I am going to do something which I said specifically on Twitter that I would do, or I guess now X, that I would do originally, which was create the starter decks, which has gone through some developmental changes, you know. So originally, it was going to be two different factions. It would make new factions, or little archetypes, as I call them. I'm probably going to change the name to factions, because no card really calls for any specific call for archetypes, so I'm just going to change it to factions from here on. That's what they're going to be called, and then mini factions. That's beside the point. So let's see. The original plan was there was going to be some Calamity clams, and the archetype would have been based around clams. And it would pull like a lot from having high danger level, and the more or less creatures you had on the field, the better. Or I guess less guards you had on the field, the better. But it was really overpowered, and that was one of the first things that kind of pulled me out of making the game, along with just being really busy there at the end of high school. So I got rid of that. The other one, I honestly cannot remember what the other archetype was, or the other starter deck was meant to be. It's been so long. I think that one was the more confusing one. I think I was working on the clams first, and then I would come up with the idea for that, but it just never really came to fruition. So that's what I'm working on currently. I'm almost done with it, actually. All I have to do is finish some coloring, and then I'll be there. So what have they evolved into? So originally, every starter deck would be entirely new cards, 16 cards in a pack. The only, another problem was they were going to be totally unbalanced. So, the rest of the card game wouldn't even be nearly as good as these. So, I decided to change some things. So, I'm just going to give you a little teaser on the next thing. Oop. Hold on, I need to open. Where is it? There. Okay. Ta-da. Okay, sorry. So, teaser to the new starter decks. There's two starter decks. This one is the detective one, featuring Detective Turtle Man and Officer Sway. As I felt like the starter decks should really follow the story of the heroes of the story versus the villain of the story. So that's what these starter decks will be about. The heroes being Officer Sway and Turtle Arrowman, and the villain being what's his face, Mayor Slimeworth, right? So the decks are more based around their specific archetypes. There are many archetypes that they were based off of. Example, Detective Turtle Man is based off the 2 higher abilities. So those were abilities that you have to do something to hire them. A couple cards had it, and a couple cards called for if you do a 2 higher ability. But this guy is like the boss for those abilities. This is one of 5 exclusive cards you can get from, or no, 7 exclusive cards you can get from his starter deck. The Mayor Slimeworth one will also have 7 cards exclusive to his deck. And the decks are pre-made. You'll get several copies of different decently made cards. Like, example, Detective Duo will have a copy of Rehire, which is wherever you use a 2 higher ability, you get the cards you sacrificed for the 2 higher ability back in your hand, which is, cool. So yeah, that's the news for the upcoming future. The current stuff, I'm just gonna be, making set 1, and then I'll be working on set 2 after this. I should hopefully be able to get that done by the end or the middle of next year. I'm shooting for the middle of next year, because I would like to see what set 2 can have in store. In fact, before I did go on this 2-year hiatus, I did create a lot of cards for set 2. However, those cards have sadly been scrapped because, one, it introduced a new mechanic, which looking back, and it heavily relied on that new mechanic, which looking back on, I think was a poor decision. So I'm no longer focusing on that mechanic. It was called, what was it? Psi. It was Psi Evolution or something like that, and it was basically to where you took several copies of the same card and could kill one of them. The other 2 stay alive, but they lose all their power and toughness and stuff, or not power. Game mixed with Magic, because I started playing Magic also, which, taking some design elements to account, because, learn from what you play. But yeah, it was basically like, and it would introduce a side deck, which honestly I don't think a side deck is really needed in this game. So honestly, I just gutted set 2. Maybe I'll take a couple of the better cards. Like, I created more dark cards, like Dark Rigoraptor, because I liked him using the used pile, because most cards don't do that. So I'll probably still do that portion of it, because I like cards using the used pile or being killed and then coming back because they are dark cards. So I'll probably keep some of those ideas in, because they didn't really rely too much on the Psi stuff. So yeah, also the set 2 story. The story still is remaining the same. I have the story set out for a possibility of 7 whole sets. But yeah, this set 2 will take place exactly after set 1. And set 2 will get its own starter decks. I don't know if I'm going to do them based off the story again. Probably will. I'll just have to figure out how to make them different, or at least the heroes, because the heroes obviously stay the same, minus a couple changes. So yeah. Anything else I need to talk about? I'll probably go into another video at some point, how my philosophy in creating set 1, because I still remember that. In fact, I have pretty much every file from set 1 still in my computer, which is what I use to color the cards. They're not physically colored, they are digitally colored, but they are physically drawn. You can probably, hold on, probably tell by, the little imperfections and the slight coloration in that. But that color is digitally done, takes a while, which is another reason why I took a step back. But I'm back. I am ready to make some cards. I think that'll be it. Let's see. Yeah, that'll be it. Thank you for watching. I know this was kind of a ranty video. My apologies.